So we're going to look at titles and end credits for your films. A title is normally at the beginning of the film. It tells you what the film is called, and the end credits normally come at the end and they tell you who made the film. Today we're going to look at how you can animate your name. So for this session, you're going to need your camera, whether that's a tablet or a phone or whatever you're using. You're going to need your stand, so whatever you've made to put the camera on, so it stays nice and still. Make sure that's good and firm and secure. You're going to need a piece of paper or card. You're going to need some pens, felt tips are good, and a pair of scissors. And remember, obviously scissors are sharp and you might need some help with the cutting, so that's absolutely fine. Get a grown-up to give you a hand there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my name on this piece of paper. Again, you can have as much help as you like with this next bit. So I'm going to do bubble writing, but you could just do normal writing if you like. There we go, that's my J, my I, and my Next I'm going to colour them in. I'm doing this quite quickly, but you can really take your time if you like. Next I'm going to cut them out. Remember, this is a bit tricky, so if you need help, get a grown-up to help you. So I'm not cutting all the way along the lines, although if you're really good at cutting out, you could. But I'm just going to cut roughly around the edges. There's my J. There's my I. And my So we're ready to animate. We've got our letters. Here they are. And we've got our tablet, our camera in the stand. And I might just use a bit of blue tack just to stick the stand down so it can't go anywhere. We don't want it to move once we start filming. Okay, that's pretty solid. So I'm going to open up our app. We're using Stop Motion Studio. I'm going to press the big plus sign for a new movie. There we go. We can see on the screen what the camera can see. So I'm going to put my letters down. I've got my J, my I, and my Now that's not quite big enough to get them all on, so I'm going to move them back a little bit. They should hopefully fit. It may be that you need to move the stand back a little bit so you can see all the letters. So we're pretty much ready to start animating. Let's check that everything's nice and secure. We're happy with how it looks, because once we take that first shot, we shouldn't really change it. And then when you're ready, you press the big red button. A little picture will appear down there. We're going to turn this up to halfway. And here's where we actually begin. So we're going to move the letters, but only a tiny, tiny bit. So if you watch how far I actually move them, it's really not far at all. That's a bit bright on there, isn't it? So it's a bit tricky to see. But I can show you what the camera can see in a bit. And then each time we move them, we take a photo. And you'll see the letters go a little bit blurry, a little bit invisible on the screen, and that's fine. In fact, if you put your hand in front, you'll see your hand is slightly see-through. So I'm being quite careful not to move the letters too much, and also not to be too rough when I'm pressing that red button. And I've taken, if you look down here, it shows you how many pictures you've taken. So far I've taken 8 pictures. There we go. So I'm up to 12 pictures now. And I moved that ear up a little bit, so I'm going to move that back down. And then I think we'll probably finish this one there. Try and get them all on the screen. And there we go. And when you're ready, you can just watch it back with this little play button here. Oh, need to turn that all the way down to make it perfect. There we are, there's my name moving around, Jim. You can control how fast your film is. There's probably a little button that looks like either a little cogwheel or a spiky steering wheel. And if you press that, you'll have a series of numbers. And it might well start at 5 with the orange line on the 5, but we're going to set that to 12. And that affects how fast your film plays back, but 12 is a good number. It means how many pictures you're seeing every second, FPS, frames per second. 12 is quite nice for animation. So we're going to select done. And off we go. So that's one way you can animate your name. And this is great for doing the bit that they put at the end of films, which is often called the end credits. So when the names appear on the screen of all the people who helped make the film. So you could do that for your films. You can use any letters you've got. You might have these fridge magnets. They're really handy. Or you might have a game called Scrabble that's got some letters in, or anything else that are letters that are small enough that you can move them around.